Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and it's time for another positive spin. Now, today we're going to be talking about George A. Romero's Diary of the Dead. Now, my relationship with this film is pretty much non existent. I watched it when it first came out. I thought it was pretty appropriate for the time because a lot of people were throwing out um, found footage films because that was kind of the style and what was coming in. I thought it was efficient. I don't hate any of the Dead films, although this was ranked last for me. I still found value in it, but it wasn't as good as the other entries. And I will say, after watching it with Joe, it may have moved up one. Now, he has never seen Survival of the Dead, so we're going to watch that sometime soon, and I'm going to see if this actually moves up a notch. Okay, the first thing I thought of was the intro. The narration is really cool. I like that. I like the fact that they were making a documentary. I appreciate that George A. Romero was trying to do something different. To me, he's a genius, and you can tell when you're watching this film, it doesn't feel like every other found footage movie at the time. It just doesn't. And I mean, we've seen a lot of stuff. I mean, Joe and I and Brad, we've seen a lot of Wild Eye stuff where, a lot of no name people, which I have no problem with, try the found footage thing, and this just seems higher quality. It does. This is a special edition, so I'll talk a little bit about that when I'm finished. I think it's cool how we get the zombie apocalypse from the start in real time. Now, of course, the time frame is a little off because the original Night of the Living Dead was in 1968. So, I mean, if you're going to go by strict time frame, it doesn't really work. But I mean, it's just part of the Dead franchise, and I think it really works well for a found footage film. There's an actual use for the camera because they're making a documentary, as I said before, and it seems plausible because when they put the camera down, it feels real. And this guy is obsessed with making a movie. This guy, Jason, or Jay, is obsessed with making a movie. So, it seems plausible to me. To me, it's the little touches that separates this from every other found footage film. It's touches and details and higher production value. And I will honestly say that I know some of my friends, and I've always said this when I've done reviews, that some of my friends are motion sick. They suffer from motion sickness. I don't think you get that in this film because it's done better. There is one spot towards the end where they're out of focus, and that bothers my eyes, but I get why they did it. They did it for authenticity. I like when the RV runs people down. I thought that was cool. Just knocked them over like bowling pins. I mean, because let's be honest, who hasn't had a bad day and just wanted to do that? The acting is above average for me for most found footage films. Now, I have seen a lot of found footage. And like I said, I've seen a lot of Wild Eye. I've seen a lot of no name found footage. And for me, the acting was definitely better than most. It was cool seeing Mary turn in the wheelchair. I thought that was pretty cool because that's one of the people that were in this group in the RV. She ends up turning in the hospital, and I thought it was kind of cool because her face is kind of blown because she tried to commit suicide. So I thought that was pretty cool. The Amish dude, Samuel, was my favorite character by far in the film. And that stick of dynamite that blows up 3 zombies at one time is just priceless. Unfortunately, he does die in the film. Spoiler alert. The kid's birthday party with the clown, the dead clown zombie, is nightmare fuel. And anyone who says it isn't is crazy. I like that they played the original broadcast in this, where they say the dead are getting up and eating people, and it's kind of like an old time broadcast, but it works well in the film where they put it. The acid eating the zombie's head was really cool. That's when they're in this Not like it's like a warehouse with a bunch of weekend warriors, so to speak. Ridley's house. Now this is towards the end. Ridley was the guy who played the mummy in the movie that he was making when all this started. His house is awesome. It's cool how the movie plays out like the Mummy movie. If you've seen it, you know what I mean. Ridley does turn into a zombie, and it goes from there. It's pretty fun. And the ending is great, and I do believe it is very appropriate for today. Should we be saved? And I think that leaves you with a pretty interesting um, dilemma of looking at this film as more than just a found footage movie. Now, this edition I have is pretty cool. I've always liked this movie, and I found this for incredibly cheap. This is the Dimension Extreme. This has of course, the film, but it also comes with The Zen of Zombie, Better Living Through the Undead by Scott Kennemore. And I think this is a really cool gift set. Like I said, I found it really cheap, and I've always liked this movie. It hasn't always been my favorite in the Dead series, but I've always liked it, so. And that's been my positive spin on the much hated George A. Romero's Diary of the Dead. Let me know what your thoughts are. Just remember to try to keep it nice. And check out Joe's positive spin as well to see what he thought of this. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.